Boy, we have got a lot to talk about when it comes to Dragon Ball Super episode 92. 91 was great because we saw a lot of the other universes preparing, and I think we're going to continue this with 92. So like I do every week, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and analyze the next episode preview and give you my predictions for episode 92, because I really think that this episode is going to be very, very eventful and very, very eye-opening. Now, if you're wondering why I'm back on YouTube here, I'm using Harry Price's channel here. He uploads the previews. Thank you, of course, Harry Price, for always doing that for us. I was having a little bit of trouble with Crunchyroll today, so I decided to go back to using Harry just for this week, to kind of go through the preview with you guys. And like always, I encourage you guys to leave comments down below with your predictions for this episode. But I am very curious about what you have to say, because I think a lot of stuff's going down here. So without any further ado, let's get to it. First thing we see here, this is a shot of Mosco, who is the god of destruction of Universe 3. This is him. It looks like he's about to fire a ki blast. Let's see there. That looks like a ki blast. And let me go back there for a second here. Now, this, of course, is the Kaioshin, the Supreme Kai of Universe 3, whose name is Ea. E-A. That's it, just two letters, EA. So, like the game company. So anyways, Ea is like I said, the Kai of Universe 3, and from what we know, he's the one who's most concerned about this tournament. He's the one who's legitimately worried something bad's going to happen. So, it's one of those things where that's kind of his character, and I look forward to kind of getting to know these characters. I'm really happy they're spending these episodes telling us more about these characters and how they relate to each other. Universe 3 is said to be much more of a man-machine hybrid universe, so I look forward to seeing more of it. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, maybe it's like the Borg, or it might be, but I'm curious to see how, I guess the Dragon Ball version of that universe is. Now, one quick thing here, before we get to Goku's, what he says here, this character, Mosco, of course the pun is on the Moscow Mule alcoholic beverage. He is, without question, a homage. Just like how Kale is supposed to be an homage to Broly, Mosco is an homage to the God of Destruction, Lude, from Dragon Ball GT. Now, I've done a video about this, and some of you guys who are new to the channel may not have seen that video, so I'm going to link at the end of this video, that video for you to watch. It's very interesting because you'll see the Gods of Destruction before Beerus. There have been a few people who had that title, and one of them was Lude. And Toyotaro actually designed this character for Dragon Ball Super, both the anime and the manga, because he's now getting a little bit more political stroke in Toei, so he's actually designing characters, and he is designing this character, obviously, as an homage to Lude. If you see GT, you know what I'm talking about. So, right here, Goku says, Boo isn't waking up at all. He's supposedly going to be asleep for 2 months, and that's going to be bad because they're going to be down one team member. This is going to be cool right here, because it looks like here we're seeing, I can't really tell what's going on. This right here looks like Magetta, right? But I think, now look at this right here. It looks like a fighter with like a red eye. Like, I'm thinking that these might be some of the fighters from Universe 3. Now, wouldn't it be cool if all the Universe 3 fighters, I mean, this really looks like Magetta, actually. Wouldn't it be cool if they were all like machine mortals? Like, that would be pretty awesome. I'm not saying it's going to be like that, but it would make that team different, and I want some more variety. It would make that team kind of stick out as being unique. Without him, we don't stand a chance in the Tournament of Power. Talking about Boo. There's another shot of Mosco. Now, here we have, this is, of course, Puar dressed like a girl, or so I believe. This is going to continue that gag storyline from the previous episode, from episode 91, where Roshi's trying to get rid of his perviness. I think the joke, and again, this is my prediction, the joke is going to be that Roshi's going to, like, legit, like, get rid of his perviness, and then when the tournament starts and he sees, like, Caulifla or one of the other female fighters, he's going to end up going back to being a perv. I totally think they're telegraphing that as being what they're going to do. Again, my prediction, that's what we do here. We predict and we prognosticate. Now, speaking of Caulifla and one of the females, so the other subplot of this episode is that Cabba is going to train Caulifla and Kale to become Super Saiyans. somebody brought this up to me on Twitter. I don't remember who it was. Actually, it was a few people. And they were saying that wouldn't it be funny if this whole thing becomes like a wacky love triangle where like Cabba maybe has a crush on Caulifla and Kale is jealous, or maybe it's vice versa. Maybe she just wants more attention. And it really looks like with this next episode preview that it may actually be the case. Like it's wacky. Like it may actually be the case here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about.
What?
So here we have Kale who's like sneaking up on them. But it could be one of those things where Kale is just kind of maybe Cabba doesn't know how strong Kale is. I don't think we're supposed to know that yet. So he wants to take Caulifla to train her. And Kale is going to be sneaking around, seeing what they're doing. And maybe Kale's going to be inspired to, I guess, learn the transformation. Now, we don't actually see Kale here transform. So I'm wondering if they're going to save it for the tournament or if we're going to see it in this actual episode. It's hinted by the spoilers that we're going to see it here. But you never really know. So speaking of which, okay, we're going to talk about a couple things here. First of all, that shot is awesome. The Caulifla... This is a pretty big deal, guys. Okay, so there have been female Super Saiyans in Dragon Ball as far as the extended universe goes. The video games, the fan manga. Toriyama himself was quoted as saying, well, there's never really... He said, he's like, there's nothing that's going to stop a female from achieving the form. He says that it is possible. And here we have it. I mean, it's right here, folks. This is pretty much, unless something gets retconned, this is the first... female, the first girl Super Saiyan. So that's pretty historic. That is Caulifla. She did it. She is the first. I love this scene right here of her just powering up like crazy. Some people have been joking that it's become a bargain sale with this transformation, but it was kind of like that in the Buu saga. In fact, Vegeta even made that joke, if you remember. Now, the other thing I want to talk about before we go back to this is Goku's, what he's saying here. Krillin, 18, you're quitting too. Okay, we'll get back to that in a minute. Here, okay, I love the shocked look on Kale's face, and look at this like key energy she's powering up. Yo, this is a great shot right here. This looks beautiful. She's kind of got the Sonic the Hedgehog freaking hair too, like like the wacky, spiny hair, like she has quills. and excuse me. Right here, it looks like she's about to fire a ki blast, and wait till you see this. I want to show you guys this here. Boom! Like, let me go back to that. Hang on. So she fired a ki blast so strong that even Kale was knocked back. So again, Caulifla's pretty damn strong. Has a lot of potential. Me and MJ, Geeklist, did a video, if you haven't seen it yet, about the Universe 6 Saiyans. And we're talking about how, because they evolve differently than the Universe 7 Saiyans, I think, my theory is that the Universe 6 ones, and yeah, it might be lazy writing, but it makes sense here. Because they evolve differently, they don't have tails, they're different, it could be possible that their version of Super Saiyan may be stronger than the Universe 7 version because of different biology. So it might be a higher multiplier, or maybe they have a higher base form. Maybe they have just much more potential in the Universe 7 Saiyans because they don't have a tail. Like, it could be... That could be the case here, and that could be Dragon Ball Super's explanation as to why Caulifla, Kale, and maybe even Cabba are able to compete with these super high-level characters. So I think that makes sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, okay, let's talk about this Krillin 18 thing. Goku says, oh no, our universes will be erased at this rate. They're saying that Krillin and 18 cannot compete. I'm calling BS on that one. I'm predicting that's not... No, it's a red herring. The reason why I am calling this a red herring is because in the promotional material, they've already talked about how 18 and 17 are going to have some great double team moves. I can understand them doing the gimmick where they do a bait and switch and they take Boo out and they put, well, you know who, if you kept up with the spoilers, they put you know who in to replace them. But I don't think they're going to be replacing 3 people. 1 person I can buy, but 3, I don't think so. I really don't think so. This is probably going to be a bait and switch and something that's going to be a calamity for this episode that will probably get resolved by the end of the episode. Goku's face, and I don't really know what's going on. Like, I have no idea what's going on, but it's some kind of conflict that I think will get resolved. Next, on Dragon Ball Super, here's everybody looking all annoyed faces. Emergency development. The incomplete 10 members. Right there, it looks like Goku's playing Janken or Rock, Paper, Scissors. And there's Caulifla, like, happy. I'm guessing she's happy because she got the transformation, and Cabba's face right there, dude. So look, we gotta talk about this frame. So I think what might be going on here is that once she realizes how strong she is, she might be so thankful and develop a crush on Cabba. And look, see, it looks like she's about to chase after him, and he's like, whoa! And then she's over here doing the jealousy thing. So those of you who are predicting that this is going to be a love triangle, or like a little, like, you know, puppy love thing with, like, you know, Kale, like, wanting, you know, being jealous of Cabba and Caulifla's closeness, let me know in the comments what you think, because I really think there might be something to that now. Like, I think that would be just absolutely fantastic if they do a storyline like that, because I don't think we've seen something like that. I think the closest we've come is maybe like early Dragon Ball, when they had like Yamcha and like Chi-Chi and like Goku with their little, I mean, it was only for like one episode, but you know, it was just Chi-Chi was like blushing, and so it could be like that, but this is different. And these are much more powerful characters. So if Caulifla and Kale end up getting into a fight over this Cabba guy, I don't know, that would be pretty awesome, I think. And that's it. I mean, that is it. That's it. That's all I got for you today. Let me know in the comments, of course, your predictions. And there's going to be some videos popping up on your screen here. You're going to see the first God of Destruction video, as well as the one about Universe 6 Saiyans. Check both those videos out, as well as a couple more. And thank you, as always, for your support of Geekdom 101. We just cracked 250,000 subscribers. That's 250,000. I'm so blessed and thankful, and I'll never forget it. And thanks so much to you guys for your constant support. I'm glad you recognize the channel and that you appreciate it, because I appreciate you. Thanks. Talk to you down the road.